Everyone, Voodoo here. So quick video today. I wanted to go through and give you guys some trees that I'm testing for the start of the 10.2 PTR. We live tonight at 4 o'clock for raid testing for the raid bosses. I'll be live over the weekend for M+ testing. So I want to give some quick builds here for people who want to just grab a starting off point. I'll link stuff in the description. But pretty much always test whatever you want, test your own things. But we have 3 quick builds today. I won't take too long in this video. We'll be pretty nice and quick with it. So this first build here is a single target build. Now I think this build is going to be pretty much the go-to. We're not really using our tier set with this build. I don't think the glaive things are really worth it in single target, but there are a few flex points. Chaos Theory is really a big flex point. You can put wherever you want in the bottom of the tree. Dancing with Fate as well is just kind of bad now. So is Improved Chaos Strike. Acid Spray honestly is kind of weak now because Dancing with Fate was nerfed, which also makes First Blood worse. So there's some weird things there. I'm going to go overall. This is just going to be our better single target build. I don't think anything else in the bottom of the tree makes sense for single target. I don't think Glaive Tempest or Fell Barrage makes sense for single target. So realistically, I think this is probably what we'll play in raid. It's what I'll be testing in raid. Fodder maybe you could drop now because it's a little bit weirder. It's like a 1.5 minute cooldown, but you know, we'll see on that front. For M+, I think it's going to be this build, and I've left 1 point out. You can put it in Fell Barrage, you can put it in Soul Rend. There's a few options there for it, but pretty much we'll just put it in Fell Barrage for now. I think this will be our Mythic Plus build. Inertia is really powerful for Mythic Plus, especially with Glaive Tempest. They line up pretty well. You have Inertia basically every Glaive Tempest, a little bit less. But Glaive Tempest is an insane button now. You're going to actually end up running this. This is just Spread Eagle, for those of you who have not noticed from last year, which is really good. Now, there's a few points you can move around here as well. Again, not sure on everything. Serrated Glaive is a flex point for sure. A few other flex points in other parts of the tree as well. Let me just re-grab the tree here. We'll just put it back in Fell Barrage. Why not? You could definitely put something into Soul Rend and move some more power into your glaives because of the tier set. But I think this build, especially with 2-minute meta, is going to be really insane. 2-minute meta makes this build really crazy. It makes it really powerful. Ragefire is still really strong. New Glaive Tempest is insane. I think Fell Barrage will eventually be good. It might be a little undertuned now, which is why maybe Soul Rend is a bit better, and then shifting some points. Maybe Looks can kill into Furious Throws, grabbing stuff there, which you could do pretty easily. I'm not going to do it right now, but you can. It's pretty simple. I don't think it's ever worth it to change off these two. The other options are not good for PvE at all. But I think this will be our go-to Mythic Plus build. 2 minutes. It pairs really nicely with the new trinket from the raid, Ashes of the Ember Soul, which is just kind of a really strong trinket for us now because meta's a 2-minute cooldown instead of a 3-minute cooldown. So that's just like a little nice side effect of that. So good starting off point here if you want to try M+. Now, if you want more of a glaive thing, more of a new build, then I think this one's probably for you. I don't personally think the glaive stuff is good, and also right now this is broken to not work, so you can move that around. But you know, glaive stuff is the focus of our tier set, so I do imagine eventually it'll be made better. Right now, Soul Rend is just in a really awkward spot to picking it up in a lot of different builds. It's kind of blocking things you don't really like. A Fire Inside is a really cool talent, but I think it should be swapped by any means necessary. You'll never grab this in single target, but there's chances you take this in single target. So there's a lot of options you have here. Might be better to drop Serrated Glaive for Improved Fell Rush. Certainly some things you can play around with and test out. Now, I myself have gone with Inertia here instead of Momentum because I think Inertia is going to be better in AoE as just like a burst button. On top of that, I actually don't have Essence Break, and the reason for that is in AoE, Essence Break already was kind of mid, kind of eh. You weren't really sure if that was the actual play or not. With the nerf to Dancing with Fate, where it now deals 25% extra damage instead of 40, your First Blood and just your Blade Dance in general is a lot weaker than it was before, which means that Essence Break itself, honestly, a little bit mid. Now, I'm dropping that for one thing, and that's going to be Glaive Tempest. Now, it's very possible that Glaive Tempest is ending up being worse than I imagined, but this button is going to be crazy. It's hasted still. It was buffed by 15%, and for those of you who played Glaive Tempest before, it was already a really strong button. And it's made now to reduce after 8 targets instead of 5, and that's a big deal. It on 5 targets, 15% weaker, was doing 12% of your damage maybe. Now it's going to be doing full damage to 3 more targets. It's going to be doing 15% more damage to all 8 of those targets, and will drop off less and bigger pulls. So this button is going to be insane. I'm pretty sure most AoE builds will have it, which is cool if you like this button. I'm taking Restless Hunter to path through it because Chaos Theory is really bad in AoE. And Restless Hunter is not great, especially since we're not taking Essence Break, but it's a little bit better. Now this build could be a bit cracked. It might be better to just kind of Essence Break and Accelerated Blade, just for AoE here. You're going to want Fire Inside with Rage Fire. It's going to be very strong once it ends up working. Obviously, right now it's not working, so you can end up doing something like this. Don't know if that'll be right in the end. I guess like this actually, but because, you know, Fire Inside ideally would eventually work, we'll have that included. But you definitely could easily drop this out, pick up Essence Break, and just kind of go from there. So I think this build's really interesting. We'll see where it ends up. Now there is one more build that I really kind of didn't like set up here, and it's gonna be a really weird one. Effectively, what you want to do is you want to grab Fel Barrage, and you want to actually path down into any means necessary. Sorry, Elysian Decree. I'm going to drop Essence Break for this, just because, like, sure, why not? Something like this, you might take Momentum instead, don't know off the top of my head, and you want to just take as much Fury Generation as you can, which we have here. So the idea here is that Demonic Appetite is baseline, right? So Elysian Decree gives you Soul Sigils, which will give you, gives you Soul Fragments, which in turn will give you Fury. So the idea here is you use your Immolation Aura, with your extra Fury gain, you use your Tactical Retreat, you pop Elysian Decree, well, you pop Fel Barrage, pop Elysian Decree, get a bunch of souls, you're regenerating Fury with Burning Hatred and Tactical Retreat, you use your Demon Blades, you use your Sigil Flame, and then you can I-Beam to fully fill your Fury bar, maybe even meta I-Beam again, just to get a massive Fel Barrage. Now I think this is kind of a meme right now, but if you want to test something a little bit memey, then you can go with this. We're picking up Glaive stuff to pass to any means necessary, and because Glaives generate better with a mastery-based build. Rage Fire is just a strong button. Obviously, would be better with Fire Inside, but don't really have the rooms for that. Elysian Decree, I think, is still bad, but it being, you know, a tool for you to use with your mastery makes it really good. Now, I didn't fill out a class tree for any of these, but I would recommend coming down to grab Quicken Sigils for this. If we just path down here, fill this out really quickly into just like a bunch of things that are sort of useful. Grab a 2-minute meta, grab all these things, come down here, Precise Sigils, this, and we just kind of run it down mid here. Oh, I actually need to change some points around. We don't need these. Whatever, but you get the idea to take Quicken Sigils. I think it'd be really good with Elysian Decree and with Soul Sigils, just for more Fury. I think this build is like a super meme, but if you want to play it, you definitely can, so go ahead and try that. So those are kind of going to be the builds that I'll be testing first, so I'll post this and post those links down below. Check me out on Twitch. I'm probably live as this is going up, doing raid testing. I'll be live over the weekend doing M+ testing. So wish you guys good luck with your Havoc testing. Let me know what works for you, what doesn't work for you. All that works right now is just grab as much feedback as we can, grab as much testing as we can, so that Havoc ends up being the best that it can be. So excited for testing. I'll see you guys tonight on Twitch, link in the description. Yeah, and have a good one. A big shout out to my channel members: Andrew Kunel, 121, Payne, Joshua O'Connell, a period, Brad Wisniak, Zooligan, Oxclamation, It's Bulk, Flapjack67, and Spaghetti. Big shout out to all you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. If you want to be a channel member, get access to exclusive videos, special part of my Discord, emotes for comments and stuff, consider following the link in the description and joining there. So thank you all so much, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.